Good day to everyone. I'm Kenneth Abellar from BSc 2B. Mm, I'm going to report my assigned topic, which is the Silang Revolt in 762 to 63. Next is the Balerese Revolt in 1762 to 65. Next is the Basri Revolt in 1807. And next is the revolt in defense of the Spanish Constitution in 1815. The last is revolt of the Bayeux Brothers in 1822. First is the Silang Revolt in 1762 to 63. Causes is imprisonment, abusive government officials, and heavy taxation. The Ilocanos had already been complaining about the anomalous collection of tribute and the abuses of Alcalde's mayorness in exercise of indulto of the commercio. Diego Silang appealed to Don Antonio Zabala, the provincial governor of Ilocos, to consider the demands of the natives. Regarding him, an agitator, Zabala had Silang incarcerated. Silang followers and friends successfully worked for his release, taking advantage of the Spanish preoccupation with the British in Manila. Silang lead the revolt of the Ilocanos and made Vegan the capital of his independent government. His defiance of Spaniards lost him support of many principales. He ordered that those principales who were opposing him to be arrested and brought to him. Should they resist, they were to be slain. He also imposed a fine of 100 pesos on each priest, but lowered it to 80 pesos on their petition. Property of church was also taken. Bishop Bernardo Ostariz of Vigan issued an interdict against Silang and his followers. He exhorted the Ilocanos to withdraw support to rebels' cause. In retaliation, Silang imprisoned all the latter's followers. And finally, Spanish government Simon de Andes sent Silang an ultimatum, fearing that Anda was trying to march to Ilocos. Silang decided to seek the protection of the British. Shortly thereafter, he accepted the British offering of friendship to fight against the Spaniards. Next, however, Silang leadership ended with assassin bullet. Miguel Vigos, a Spaniard's mestizo who wished to take revenge on Silang and Pedro Becbec, he trusted the aid of Silang conspired to kill the rebel leader in exchange of a large monetary reward. Gabriela Silang, Diego's wife, continued to fight Nicolas Carino, Silang uncle's temporary top of the forces. He and Gabriela attacked to the town of Santa in Ilocos Sur and won over the government force. Um, a- After the battle, Gabriela went to the forest of Abra and recruited to the Tinguinians. Another battle was fought at Cabugao, but this time the rebels were beaten. Carino perished in action. Gabriela and her warriors fled to Abra and organized a new army of Ilocos and Tanguanes. With her newly organized battalion, Gabriela marched towards Vegan. She rode on a fast horse and led her troops into the combat. The loyal archers of the Spanish government repulsed her attack. Once more, she went back to the mountain of Abra with her followers. Don Manuel de Arzar, lieutenant governor of the northern Luzon, and his Cagayan warriors followed her trail. With the aid of Apayos, the Kalinas, they captured her and her surviving followers. On September 20, 1763, Gabriela and her companions were executed in Vegan, Ilocos Sur. Next is the Palaruses revolt in 1762 to 65. Causes: tribute Spain lost a prestige due to the British occupation of Manila. Simultaneous with the Silang Revolt was uprising in Pangasinan. The local inhabitants wanted the abolition of the tribute and the removal of Joaquin Gamboa, alcalde mayor of the province for irregularities in tax collection. The rebellion began on November 3, 1762 at the town of Binalatungan under the leadership of Juan de la Cruz Palaris. From Binalatungan, the spirit of insurrection spread to each other towns of the province. Palaris urged the people to fight since the Spaniards were very weak because of their defeat at the hand of the British in Manila. For over a year, he succeeded in driving the Spaniards and friars out the rival towns. The Dominican friars tried to pacify the rebels but failed. In March 1764, Don Mariano de Arza, together with 3,000 loyal Ilocano soldiers, suppressed the revolt of the Palaris in Pangasinan. Palaris was publicly made. Next is the Basi Revolt in 1807. Causes wine monopoly of 1786. Due to the wine monopoly of the government, the Ilocanos were prohibited to drink homemade basi. And the wine fermented from sugarcane. They compelled to buy wine from the government store. On September 16, 1807, the Ilocanos of Pidig, Ilocanos Norte, rose in arms in defense of their favorite wine, basi. The rebellion spread the neighboring towns Badoc and Santo Domingo. The Spanish alcalde mayor, who was residing in Vegan, sent a force of 36 soldiers and 2 columns of civilian guards with a cannon to attack the Badoc. However, on September 28, 1807, the alcalde mayor, together with a strong force of regular troops, attacked them to San Ildefonso, quell the revolt. Next is Revolt in Defense of the Spanish Constitution 1815. Causes abolition of the liberal Spanish Constitution. The Spanish Constitution of 1812 was very much influenced by the ideals of the French Revolution. Liberty, equality, and fraternity. This democratic constitution granted human rights to both Spaniards and Filipinos. It was promulgated by the Spanish Cortes and approved and signed by 184 delegates of the Spain and their colonies, including the Philippines. One of its signatories was Ventura de los Reyes, a Filipino. Upon knowing that this constitution was abolished on May 4, 1814, the despotic ruler King Ferdinand, an explosion of violence in the country against principalities took place. The, the masses suspected that the principalities were behind this since they had been presumed aiding the Spanish authorities to perpetuate in power. On March 3, 1815, more than 1,500 Ilocanos of Sarat, Ilocos Norte, under the leadership of Simon Tomas, rose in arms in defense of Spanish Constitution in 1812. The Ilocanos plundered the house of rich Spaniard and pro-Spanish native. They also looted the churches and killed some friars and officials. The Spanish government rushed infantry and cavalry forces to rebellious towns in the Ilocodia. The revolt ended on March 6, with the surviving leaders and rebellion severely punished. Last is the revolt of the Bayad brothers in 1822. Causes: feeling distrust between the Peninsulares and Creoles. The Insulares in the Philippines, as well as the Creoles in other colonies of Spain, resented the extra privilege given to Peninsulares. The feeling of distrust and antagonism between the Peninsulares and Creoles became intense in the early decades of 19th century. Inspired by the achievements of Creole liberators in Latin America from 1808 to 1826 and influenced by the ideals of the French Revolution in 1789 to 1799. The three Bayot brothers, Manuel, Jose, and Joaquin, sons of Colonel Francisco Bayot, a prominent Creole of Manila, conspired with the other Criollo officer and Battalion Real Principe to overthrow the government which dominated Peninsularis. A few days before April 17, the plan of the Bayard conspiracy was discovered. Governor Mariano de Florgueras alerted the Queen regiment and surrounded the barracks of suspected rebels with the loyal troops and 15 cannons. The Bayard brothers were imprisoned after a trial. That's all. Thank you.